everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosie and this is my husband Jeremy.
Hello.
So, funny story, not actually that funny, but basically my computer has stopped working, which means that I lost about 5 or 6 days worth of videos, photographs, just kind of everything that was on my laptop. My laptop stopped working and I lost all that footage. So I wanted to film this video to talk to you about what we did in Oxapampa, our journey from Lima to Oxapampa in the first couple of days, so that the vlogs to come make a little bit more sense. I didn't want to just jump into a vlog in the middle of the jungle and not explain why we're there or how long we've been there for or what we're doing, any of that stuff. So this is going to be that video talking to you about what we've done. I'll try and make it as exciting as possible. I'll insert photographs and videos when I can if Jeremy got any things that I've lost. So any of his photographs and videos will be on the side. So basically, we went to Oxapampa for 2.5 weeks and we went with a company called worldpackers, which is basically an online website and you pay so much per year, right?
Yeah, there's membership to apply to volunteering experiences. You can browse for free. If you want to apply, you need to pay. I'm not sure about the individual price. It must be about 29 or 39. As a couple, we paid $49. Mm-hmm. That's for 1 year. And you can apply to an unlimited amount of experiences around the world.
Basically, I'm going to do a whole video, but basically it's volunteering all around the world, lots of different projects. You can do bartending, teaching English, looking after kids, farm work, whatever. And we were looking at Peru because we wanted to come here, and we found this volunteering opportunity that was 4 hours work per day in exchange for accommodation and 3 meals per day, and the work was to take photographs of nature. How that is work, I don't know, but we really enjoyed it. We paid $5 per day to be there as well, to kind of contribute with food and things like that, each $5 each, so it's 10 per day. And basically I vlogged the trip from Lima to Oxapampa, which was meant to be a 10-hour bus journey, ended up being 11.5 hours. It was super dramatic. I vlogged the whole thing, obviously lost that footage. I also vlogged the first 2 or 3 days whilst we were there as well, with our first impressions, foods we were eating, lost all that as well. So today I just want to talk to you about our experience and kind of round it all up into a quick little video so you know what we're doing, why we were there, and then the vlogs will make sense that are to come. So basically, the bus from Lima to Oxapampa. Oh, I also have my diary here, so if we look down, it's because we're checking like what we actually did that day. So got up at 6, left the apartment at 6:45, and then our bus was at 8:30. I think I remember.
Yeah, we travelled with a company called Mobile. And it was a hell of a ride.
It was a hell of a ride. So we left at 8:30 and it was super interesting leaving Lima, because obviously Lima is the capital. Lots of tall buildings, lots of businesses, lots of glass buildings, and you know, it's
just a big city.
A big city. And you leave there, and I remember the first time we drove through, I don't know if you pronounce it Ate or Ate, or it's ATE basically. Yeah. And it was such a contrast. There's like huts on the side of the road, and I mean like, you know, wooden huts with like a metal sheeting on top, and that's their house or that's their shop. And there's, I don't want to say slums, but like not great living conditions.
Yeah, or like houses half built, like just one floor, and then you had the metallic sticks like poking out, like where usually you build a second floor, but for some reason they didn't.
But like most of them.
Yeah, like a lot of them, so it wasn't just one dude who made a mistake.
Yeah. Basically, I vlogged the whole thing. I'm so upset that I lost it all, because I was filming all, like, doing reels, like, you know, vertical videos, well, vertical and horizontal, trying to capture it all. So Jeremy didn't get any, because he was
and
like,
because she was filming literally the entire thing, I was like, I'm not going to film, it's just going to be a waste of time.
But it was so interesting to see the change of landscape. So we went from obviously this big city, then going through these small villages and towns.
Like rocks around and
the
really
rocks
rocky and dry
well.
And stuff.
Yeah, so at the beginning it was dry and grey, and then at some point it was yellows, and then it went into this big white rock face. And then it went into more reds and browns, and it was just so interesting. And we'd drive through, and you drive through somewhere and there'd be just huge cliff faces in front of you, and you'd look up and be like, wow, and take a picture. It was just like, it just looks like shit. Like, it didn't look like the scale.
The camera didn't capture any of the beauty of the thing. And just to context, so we went inland and we basically crossed the Andes.
Forgot to mention that part. Crossed the Andes.
So we did like sea level up the Andes and a little bit down.
Yeah. I did vlog the way back, so if I don't lose the footage before then, you'll see a little bit of the journey. Yeah, you'll see a little bit of the journey on the way back after the vlogs that are to come.
And actually the weather was better, so...
Yeah, you see a lot more. But it was so interesting driving through small towns where there's just one main road and then houses either side, and like houses built up the sides of the rocks and things. And
I mean, a lot of the time we were like, what kind of life they have there?
Yeah.
To be honest, it's like you're in the Andes. Like, we went from 0 to 4,800 meters high. Not sure how it's in feet, but it's a lot.
A lot.
Okay. Usually an airplane fly like 10 kilometers, so we are halfway between the ground and what airplane fly. You know, so just to give you an idea, it's a lot of feet, thousands of feet. But yeah, they're like in the middle of nowhere. There's no big town in the Andes. You have like patches of houses here and there. It's like, what the hell those people do there? I was so curious to spend time there to experience it. I have no idea.
Yeah. And as Jeremy mentioned, we obviously went up to 4,800 meters, which is high.
Above 2,000 meters high. 2,000 meters high, that's when you can start feeling altitude sickness.
And I thought that wouldn't be a big deal. I was like, yeah, altitude sickness, that'll be fine. And then we started going up and I got a bit of a headache, and I was like, okay, I've got a bit of a headache, it's fine, we're just going to ignore that, just relax. And then like I was fine, and then suddenly I felt horrendous, and I was like, Jeremy, I really do not feel well. What happened actually was I went to the toilet because I'd not been for the first 5-6 hours or something. Went to the toilet at the point where we were literally going up like this in a zigzag. Yeah, in the bus, obviously. It was zigzagging up and down this, like, the highest point. So literally to go in the toilet, I'm like struggling to close the door, because when I got in the toilet, we were going around a curve, so I was like, whoa, I had to wait to go around the other way to then close the toilet door. Sat on the toilet, you're being like thrown around everywhere, and I already felt a little bit ill. And then got upstairs again because we were on the top floor with like amazing views out the front window. And then I was like, Jeremy, I'm not ill. So I've written here, like, I just felt so sick. And my symptoms was, so I put, my fingers were tingling like numb pins and needles. So my fingers, yeah, they felt like, I don't know, like they were numb, like pins and needles. I just felt really weird. I felt really headachy, really sick. And then I started I hate being sick. I just really, really hate it, don't I? Yeah. So I started crying, like, I don't want to be sick, Jeremy, I don't want to be sick, I don't want to be sick. And he's like, are you going to be sick? And I was like, no, no, I'm not going to be sick. Get the bag. He's like, well, tell me, because I need to get a bag. I'm like, no, but I'm not going to be sick. Like, trying to, like, convince myself I'm not going to be sick, but also telling him that I do need a bag. So it was like, anyway, he scrambled to get a bag, and straight away, I was sick in the bag.
Good timing.
I felt horrendous. Like, I just felt so ill. It was not fun. And you were fine.
Yeah,
you had a bit of a headache
later. Headache at some point. It was interesting. It was like my head was being pressed. Like, not the headache that you usually get. It was a real like compression there. But yeah, apart from that, my stomach felt okay.
Yeah.
We stopped. So we went to like 4,800, which is pretty much where you were sick.
Yeah.
We saw some alpaca there. Well, it's true that alpaca in Peru, I've seen them. Rosie didn't. She was about.
Yeah.
I didn't get a shot, but I've seen them. You have to trust me on this one. And then we went down a little bit. Also, the weather was terrible. I mean, it was like, it's like that.
Yeah.
The driver doesn't care. And they overtake a massive lorry, like 2 lorries in turns like that. And you have a car coming and you're like, holy shit.
But they overtake when they cut like round the corner and you can't even see what's coming. So we were at the front, like I said, at the top. So we're like, no, we can't see, we can't see. And then like a bus or something will come, like, ah! Like,
so, I mean, you could easily feel car sick anyway.
Yeah.
With this kind of road, so
it's a lot of turning, a lot of Yeah.
And we went down and stopped for lunch like a little bit after that, and we were like 3,500, I think. And going out there, I felt a little bit dizzy when I walked out. I could feel the lack of oxygen, because I guess it's that. My stomach was fine, but my head was a bit like lightheaded, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went down for 5 minutes, but I was like, I just feel weird anyway. I don't want to feel any weirder, so. And then we continued, and the bus carried on kind of into the night it started getting dark as we arrived in Oxapampa, so we saw a little bit of the green, like the forest and things. I remember we drove down that bit and saw like all the forests.
Yeah, we saw a bit after. It was raining as hell, honestly, so we couldn't see that much anyway.
Yeah, it was raining, it was foggy, and then it obviously got dark, so we arrived at night time. And Bresley picked us up from the bus station.
Can I say before, like, 11 hours ride, I didn't watch, listen, or read a book.
Yeah.
I literally, like, the whole time, I looked at the window.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in the cinema because we had, like, a massive panoramic thing. It was pretty cool. And I literally looked at the landscape for 10, 11 hours. I did nothing else, which, you know, it's not often you can sit and just watch nature for, like, 10 or 11 hours. That's how crazy it was, and yeah.
Apart from that, like one hour, maybe 2 maximum, that I felt sick.
Yeah.
I mean, I was still looking outside to try and calm my sickness, but the whole time, otherwise, I was filming and taking photos. Oh my god, look at this, Jeremy! Look at that! Wow! Wow!
Really
Oh my
unique,
god!
yeah.
Like, yeah, the whole time I was just saying. I don't know how many times I said wow the whole time. Really, really amazing, and it's super cheap. It's like $15. So it's like, yeah, €15 each for this like 11.5-hour bus journey to Oxapampa.
I recommend to do it once.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I would, honestly. It's
take a sick
an
bag.
experience.
Take a sick bag in case. So yeah, arrived at night time. Bresley came and picked us up from the bus station and took us into Oxapampa, just a couple of blocks away. And we stayed in a hotel for the night for about €15.
Yeah, 70 soles.
70 soles, about €15 for the night. And that's that day. The next day, do you remember what time we woke up?
Oh, like 6 a.m.
We woke up at 6:20 with the TV on super loud. It gave us a heart attack. That's literally what I've written in my diary.
Someone must have set up like the automatic turn on of the TV, and yeah, at 6 a.m. TV blasting like some Spanish
Super
stuff.
loud.
Like, what the fuck?
We both went like heart attack. So we didn't sleep well because it was noisy outside as well. Not a great night's sleep. Anyway, Bresley came, picked us up again, and we got a taxi to her house, which is about a 25-30 minute drive from Oxapampa to Grapana Zoo, which is her local town, and then she's about a 5-minute drive outside of there, so she's not in a town at all. She's kind of out in the countryside, out in the middle of nowhere. And I remember, so we drove there, and I remember on the way we were just thinking, like, it was so interesting because it was all tropical things, so, you know, palm trees and banana plants and all these different things, but then you've also got cows and oak trees and like agriculture farming stuff mixed in with the tropical, and it was an interesting mix of both.
Mountains on the side, and we're like in a valley, and plenty of clouds like on the top, and yeah, pretty crazy.
It was a really good contrast from Lima, where we'd just been. So I drove there, and I remember the taxi dropped us off, and we walked up this hill. Then it was at the beginning of our journey, so I had like my big backpack plus my other backpack, and I was like tired and hot, but I remember walking up, and you were walking in front of me, and I filmed, and I said, oh my god, what is my life? And it's sad that I lost that footage, but I just remember like walking up and seeing Jeremy walking up in this like old house. I've got a video of the house, I can put that on screen. And just covered with nature and beautiful plants and flowers, and it was just like, wow, where are we? Like, how did we manage to get here? It was really weird, wasn't it? So after we got settled and unpacked a little bit, I think I actually napped for about an hour as well because I was so tired from not really sleeping and the travelling and all the rest of it. When Bresley gave us a bit of a tour, and I've actually done a house tour as well, so you can go ahead and watch that. It'll be coming in 2 or 3 videos, maybe in a week or 2. So that's coming very soon. We'll show you around the whole house, but it was beautiful to look around, and she was talking to us about the avocado trees and about the plants that she has, and about, you know, why they have an outdoor shower and where the bees are, and like all these different like, she just showed us around the whole property basically, and then took us for a bit of a walk up the path and up through the woods. And this was the day where we saw a big caterpillar that was literally the size of like 2 fingers, but he was a big fat boy. And we saw a big wasp's nest, we saw lots of trees and birds, and it was just like, we were just like, wow, where are we? It was so amazing.
Really cool, yeah, she has like big family property,
like 20
shared
hectares
between like uncles and stuff like that. And she's like a forest scientist, I'm not sure how you call that. She studied forest preservation at school and stuff like that, and yeah, she was telling us about how they have pine trees and they're chopping some of them to give more space to the other one to grow, and how they're putting cypress trees on one side to protect from the fire because they burn less quick, so to protect the rest and for them to have time to intervene and stuff like that. Yeah, like really cool things like that. Like, she was really knowledgeable about the whole thing. It wasn't just a walk as well. Like.
And she would hear like a bird and be like, oh, that's a something something bird, and oh, that's a something something butterfly, or like
the fungus, all the mushrooms.
Yeah,
really, really interesting.
Really cool. But it, like, again, it was such a wow experience because we'd just come from Lima. We're very new to being in Peru, so it was just like, where are we? We didn't know this Peru was like this. It's never
such a big contrast.
Like Oxapampa is never shown on any tour guides or anything, so we didn't really know what to expect. And then we're here just.
Lonely Planet, if you watch that, add that to your South America guide.
I think they're going to be watching this. But...
Wow.
So yeah, I had a wonderful walk round. I want to talk about dinner because the food has been quite interesting. I'll try and mention lunch and dinner each day when I've written it down. So for lunch we had yucca and pork, which was a pachamanja, is that what they call it? Pachamanca. So basically, a couple of days before we'd arrived, they'd had a birthday party for her mum, was it?
Yeah.
And basically they dig a hole in the floor and cook the food in the floor by like covering it in banana leaves and
like
coal
rocks
and rocks and things, So that was delicious. And then I put corn drink, which I now know is chicha morada. At the time I was like, I don't know what she's saying, corn drink.
Blue corn.
Blue corn. And the first time we tried it was without sugar and lemon, and it tasted corny. It tasted of corn. And then she mixed in some sugar and lemon, and that's when it tasted quite sweet and a little bit like Ribena if you're English. It's quite a sweet kind of a squash. Really enjoyed it. And then for dinner, we had yucca plants fried with honey on top, and then porridge and honey. So this is something they do, is they have yucca plants, which I don't know if you've maybe had before. It's not super common in Europe at all. In fact, I don't think we had it until maybe Indonesia and USA and things, like Miami.
I think you can find it, but I didn't know about it before. So.
Yeah, so basically it's a yucca plant. It's a bit like a potato, I guess.
Yeah, it's a root.
But what she did was it was already pre-cooked, and she smashed it down into a bit of like a... How do you explain?
How do you call like what they do in Waffle House? Those grit, like the potato.
Yeah, grits. I think.
Yeah, it's similar to that. A kind of potatoes that a bit mashed and fried.
Yeah. So it's kind of, you still get potatoey texture, but it's kind of flattened a bit like a pancake, but it's a thick pancake that we put honey on. So it's kind of the savoury of the yucca with the sweet of the honey on top. Homemade
honey, because her dad is a beekeeper.
Yeah. You bloody loved it.
Yeah.
Jeremy was eating it by the spoonful. Oh, and this is the day that I also tried Inca Cola, which is something that's very famous here. Everybody in Peru talks about Inca Cola. It's like the drink that everybody has at like every mealtime, all the time. Is Inca Cola. And I tried it, and it tastes a bit like iron brew if you've ever had that before, if you're from Europe or England. Yeah, it tastes a lot of bubble gum. It's very sweet, very candy-like.
It's yellow as hell. That's not even yellow as that's really pale. Yeah,
I'll pop a photo on the screen. I've got a picture of me trying it. I think. So that was that day. Had a wonderful day. I feel really relaxed, and I'm sure we'll sleep well. And we saw fireflies, which was really exciting because I've only seen them, I think, twice before. Once in Italy and once in Indonesia. So for us, it's a bit of a rarity to see fireflies. It's not something that we see often. Yeah, especially a lot of them. Okay, next day was when we went to Grapana Zoo. So for breakfast, we had yucca fries for breakfast, as you do. And something she made us quite often was a quinoa smoothie. So she has these packets of quinoa that you would heat up with water, and would either have it as kind of like a soup, like a porridgey drink that you would drink, put honey in and then drink it. Or she would sometimes blitz it and have it as a bit more of a smoothie. So we had that day. And for lunch, we took some photographs of the birds, and then we walked to Grapanazu. Now this is quite funny because there's two sections of the road from the walk from Bresley's house to Grapanazu where it's just full of water. And with my hiking shoes, I couldn't cross it, and Bresley was wearing wellies. So she carried me over twice on the way there and then twice on the way back again. So I'm going to insert that footage so you can see, because it is quite funny.
Ready? Yeah, ready. You're not that heavy.
I am.
1, 2, 3. Thank you. Here we go again. Thank you. Go on.
So in Grapanazu we had lunch at one of the small restaurants. She wanted us to try a traditional dish from that area, which was delicious. Again, I did have the footage, but I've lost it. Sorry about that. We also walked up the road quite far. It took us quite a while to go to a trout farm. And I don't know about you, but I've never been to a trout farm before. And it was pretty big and pretty impressive. There was so many like tanks of water that would all like flow into each other. Different size fish. There was tiny ones and huge ones. And she asked for 4, so we like stood and watched as the woman fished them out. It was a whole experience, a whole thing. But yeah, really enjoyed that. This was also the day where I checked my YouTube analytics and I had 1,000 subscribers and I cried. I'm going to put that footage in as well right now so you can see that reaction because I think it's super cute.
Alright, so Rosie is checking her YouTube.
That's going to make me cry. 1,001.
Yay!
Oh, why am I crying over YouTube?
Because it's 2 years of hard work.
It's only 1,000. It's ridiculous. What happens when I get to like 10,000?
You can be proud of yourself.
I am.
You worked hard for it. No,
That's fun.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. And then for the rest of the evening, it basically rained. We had dinner that
Well, for
night.
the rest of the walk back as well, so we got drenched.
Yeah, sorry. For the rest of the walk back, it rained. So yeah, we got absolutely drenched.
It's rainy season right now in Oxapampa, in the region, so it was
Yeah.
raining quite a bit, and yeah, we got wet.
We got wet. We got caught in it. I walked home, got wet, but then I also, after I was like, well, I'm already wet, I need to shower anyway, so I went and had a shower, which was actually really nice, showering outside in the outdoor shower with the rain and the nature. It was lovely. For dinner that night, we had fried plantains with bread with dulce de leche or guava jam, and that dulce de leche was my favourite thing. I ate so much of it, didn't I?
Yeah, I think it was like 4 tubs.
1.5. Let's not be dramatic.
She went back and bought 3 or 4 more.
No. When we arrived, there was one that's pretty much empty, and then she bought a full one, and then we had a little bit of the third one. So it was 1.5 maybe. Okay, it's still a lot, 1.5 tubs. But it was delicious. It was so good. And the fried plantains were amazing as well. This night as well, she turned off all the lights, and it was pitch black, like darker than dark, wasn't it? Which we're not used to again with being in cities and things like that. And she brought out 2 quarts and she banged them together, and you could see the spark, which I didn't know was a thing. So we would grab these 2 quartz things and bash them together, and you can get like a spark as if you're starting a fire. So that was really cool. Okay, we need to speed up, guys. Next day was Jeremy's birthday. We had pina for breakfast.
Yeah, a homemade pina.
Homegrown
She
pina.
has like a field full of pina.
Yeah.
She picked up. So
And she'd picked one a couple of days ago, so we saved it for Jeremy's birthday.
so good.
And I wrote down, I felt weird, I didn't buy anything for Jeremy for his birthday, but obviously like we're travelling around America, so it's fine, like you didn't need anything. But what did we do that day?
Not much, we relaxed.
We read, we chilled out, we saw monkeys in the tree. That was it. You saw a toucan, you and Brezzy saw a toucan on your birthday.
For like 2 seconds, I can't describe it to you, we didn't get a picture of it yet. Like not the big one that you see in the movie, like a small like that. It's like a big, like that big.
I didn't see
yeah,
it.
That's quite cool.
And
the
then,
monkeys are nice.
yeah, we saw monkeys. So as we were cooking dinner, Brezzy was like, wait, there's monkeys.
Yeah,
so we went outside. And yeah, they make this funny noise, and then they come quite close as well. So we were underneath the trees, and they're literally like, you know, an arm's reach away from
But
us.
they're night monkeys, so we don't know what they look like.
Yeah, they only come out at night time, so you can kind of see like a little movement, like moving through the trees, but you can't see what colour it is, the face, the eyes, anything like that.
So long tail.
Long tail. And that was it. Next day, we woke up at 5:55 because...
Shaky.
shaky. We experienced an earthquake. Well, not an earthquake. Okay, I'm being dramatic.
Well,
but,
yeah, earthquake.
yeah, but it was the tremors of an earthquake. It wasn't like an earthquake where we were.
No, but I mean...
It wasn't an earthquake.
The whole house was shaking now.
Yeah, it was weird. So we were in bed, And we both woke up like
the whole thing was
swaying. Was it that fast? I remember it being slower.
I mean, the wall was, you could see the wall going.
I remember it being more like this speed. But yeah, it was funny because you like if you had a jacket on, like when everything's moving, you don't really notice everything is moving, if that makes sense. But you'd notice that your jacket would like come off the wall and then bang against the wall, come off the wall and then bang against the wall. So the house was moving like this, and we were both like, "Is this an earthquake?" And then Bresley shouted because you could hear her through. She's like, "It's okay, guys, just stay in bed." We were like, "Okay."
Yeah, the earthquake was like in the north of Peru, and it was felt hundreds of kilometers away.
It was really, really far away.
It was quite a big one actually, the center.
So on this day, we also went to Grapanazu again. This time, rather than walking and walking back, Bresley has a motorbike and she decided to drive us one by one. So she took me first and I was
Loud.
I'm so sad we lost this footage because I was like, woo! And like videoing the whole thing. I really don't think I've got it. If I've got it, I'm going to insert like a little clip.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Here we go! Whoop.
Took the motorbike to Grapanazu and had lunch there, and that's when we tried the Lulu drink as well.
The Quito.
Quito Quito. That's when we fell with the
Brazilian.
Quito.
Yeah, with pollo a la brasa.
Yeah.
So like on a grill, chicken on a grill basically. And some, we had like ketchup, mayo, and a sauce dip that was olive. It was so yummy.
Delicious.
Pink. I've got a picture. Stick there.
Okay, picture.
The color was pink.
Yeah.
Like
a lilac,
really
pinky
like
purple.
tasty, like really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, yummy drink. And then I think we basically, at this point I realised that I was monetised on YouTube, so I had to do a couple of things to validate it with that, which is not exciting for you guys, but it was super exciting for me to be like, we're getting somewhere. Chilled out that evening, bed by 8 o'clock, reading in bed. That was the other thing as well, is that we would wake up early, obviously 6 a.m. with an earthquake, but otherwise we'd wake up at like 6 a.m, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
But we'd equally, with the birds and with the sun, but then equally we'd go to bed at like 8 p.m, maybe read in bed for an hour, be asleep by 9 most nights, which was really nice to be in rhythm with the nature and the sun and everything like that. Okay, so the next day we went for a walk again and wanted to find the caterpillar that we found on the first day and take some photographs. I'm going to insert the photographs so you can see them. I also got some videos, I've lost the videos, and I also got some photographs of the wasp's nest, which was crazy as well. It's actually, you can't really see in the photographs, it was quite big, a good, about this size, wasn't it?
Yeah, like a head size.
Yeah, really enjoyed that. We spent some time editing, just chilling out, reading. And this is what was good about this volunteering, is it wasn't like, okay, you need to go out now and come back in 4 hours time. It was just like, if you go for a walk, take some photographs and that'd be brilliant. So it was really relaxed, wasn't it? And really nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
And for lunch and dinner this day, Bresley made us a soup, which was absolutely delicious. I can't remember what was in it, but it's a Grapanazu soup. So it's from this specific area of Peru. I don't think you can find it probably anywhere else. But what I've written down is that it was fresh and spicy. And I think that's the best way to describe it, because it was fresh in that it was like lemony. I think it was citruny, wasn't it?
Coriander or thing like.
It was quite fresh.
All veggies. It wasn't meat or anything.
Yeah, it was like fresh tasting. It was hot, obviously in temperature, but it also had a little bit of spice in there. Oh, spicy sauce. Yeah, really, really delicious. No idea what was. Well, I mean, I kind of know there was an egg in it. There was, certain things in it, but I don't really know how to make it or anything. But really enjoyed the food with her. And I think that's the last day before the next vlogs. So the next vlog is going to be a bridges vlog where we go for a walk and then we walk on 2 bridges and we end up jumping on them. They're super old. We were screaming.
And they broke down when we jumped.
You flew your drone. We had a really, really lovely time. So that's the next vlog, and then the vlogs to come are all going to make sense now, because now you know what we were doing in this part of the world, why we were there, you know, the backstory. So I hope this video wasn't too boring. I also kind of did this video for me as well, so I can remember what we did and have this here as well. So really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, and I promise you my future videos are way more exciting because they're actual vlogs of us doing things rather than us talking about doing things. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.